And we're back to Zwift racing in October. I know, so early. So what happened was I got COVID, and my season came to a screeching halt in like late August, early September, something like that. So then I was like, okay, off-season time it is, and I got this early start. I have all the motivation in the world. So I was like, we're going to hop into a Zwift race. And that's exactly what we did. This is Zwift unlocked, apparently, on that gantry. 12.4 kilometers. Dune dash, we have a little hill at the end, and I immediately roll a featherweight power up, which I'm going to hang on to because if you look at the profile in the upper right, that's right, we're finishing up a climb. Not particularly steep, not particularly long, but this is going to be the key to success if I can hang on to it, try to see if I can land a win. And honestly, the next few kilometers were like pretty chill. Pretty flat road, not much going on, no crosswinds. I kid, there's no wind at all in Zwift land. Actually, that might be kind of fun. What if they... Oh, that'd be kind of cool. They're steering in Zwift. What if they allowed you to, like, gutter the field or, like, shelter yourself from a crosswind? Anyway, I digress. We've approached the first couple of features here. Really short, punchy climbs. I'm not going to use my power up if I can get away with it. You can see this rider next to me is using his, though, and, of course, I would use it, right? If I'm getting dropped, if I'm losing contact with the lead group, you pop the power up, you do everything you can to remain in contact. But in this case, we're chilling. 150 beats per minute. No reason to use it. It's going to have the most value at the end of this race, so let's see how that shakes out. Okay, approaching the bottom of the final climb, and we have this rider off the front, Kruger from Germany, with a whopping 1 second gap off the front. I am not particularly worried about this. Of course, that sentiment has burned me in the past. Don't worry about him, and then that's how you lose races in Zwift. But just the single rider off the front, the bottom of a climb like this, is very unlikely to stay away. And literally, as I'm finishing this sentence, he's being caught. And now this funny thing happens. So it's only 1.8, 2%. It's increasing the grade a little bit here. And now it's over 3. But, like, it's not steep enough for all of the light watt per kilo guys who are optimized at climbing to go really hard. Because there's still a lot of draft going on. We're going 30 kilometers an hour, even here at the kind of the steepest middle part of this first bump on our way to the finish. It's a funny thing that's happening, and it's playing into my favor because first, I get to hang on to my lightweight power-up, my featherweight power-up, and then B, I am able to save as much energy as I can for the end of this race. My specialty is like the final 12 to 14 seconds of a race. Unload all of the power. That's always been something that comes naturally to me. I don't never understand people who can just hold like 400 watts for 40, 50 minutes. That's always been crazy to me. I've always trained to make that better, but my sustained power sucks. I'm able to burn the entire book of matches in the final 12 seconds. So that's what I'm trying for. I am not interested in setting the pace towards the front right now. If there's a reason I'm towards the front, it's to slow things down, in fact. So this is playing into my favor. The climb's going to flatten out here, and the longer we can stay neutral like this as a group, I think we're down to like 6 or 7 now from our original group of 10, the better off I am. The more I can stay in the draft here. Now we're going 34 kilometers an hour, so the draft is even a little bit better. But I'm looking ahead at what's to come, and I see a steep climb that sort of flattens out towards the top. This is important because the best value I'm going to get out of this power may not actually come in the final couple hundred meters. It might actually come at that very steep bit, but it kind of depends on how the race plays out. But I've held on to this the entire race. This has been my only power-up. I've had, 3 other opportunities to get power-ups in this race, and I have foregone those options because I think that this is probably the most valuable asset to have in the closing moments of this race. And now we're going 38 kilometers an hour. My heart rate's come down. We're 164 beats per minute. This is all playing into my favor, kind of by accident, by luck, call it what you will, but it's a good way to kind of kick off this first Zwift race of the off-season. Last kilometer now. Okay, now there's that steep part of the climb. Now, I think I'm probably going to use it here, if I remember correctly. Probably, yeah. Once I see that these other riders start popping theirs, I think, yep, I use mine because this is the steepest pitch right here. This is over 9%. So this is where you're going to get the best bang for your buck. This is what I was talking about. And we're still not going crazy. Like, I can't do 500 watts to the finish. because we still have, I don't know, three minutes or 4 minutes or so to the finish. So I'm not going to be able to hold this power to the finish, but I don't want to just completely burn myself out. So I'm just trying to do this measured effort because consistency is efficiency in this sport. So if I can hold a sustainable power, all things better. Like, I could jump to the front right now, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, unfortunately, my power-up does expire. The road has flattened out, and there's this little group forming off the front, but I don't want to just jump across and use my final remaining matches. And when I see this flat spot in the middle before the final pitch, I kind of play this game of chicken with S. Craig, the Canadian, and I want to get a little bit of draft here because now we're going 38 kilometers an hour, and I know it doesn't seem like much, but this makes a big difference. Now 40 kilometers an hour, 41. I get a little bit of draft right here, and now I punch it because now we're about to hit the final little pitch here of like 5 or 6%, and I need to get across to these front riders who have been out front cooking themselves. And at this point, it's just how much can I hold to the finish? We're only 150 meters to go, but it has been a long and difficult effort up this final climb, and I think my number's about 750, 800, right in there is what I can hold to the finish. Hopefully nobody can do more, and it looks like nobody can do more, so we pulled down a win. I'm 1 for 1. My 2025 off-season campaign feels pretty good. It's the exact motivation that I needed. My first little bit of intensity off of doing quite a bit of Zone 2 base fitness. So thanks for watching, guys. If you're interested in more Zwift racing, get subscribed. And like I said before, if you want to see some live streams, that might be a lot of fun too. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys in the next one.